Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is a wonderful day in the corporate neighborhood. Or is it? Welcome to the Elevate Your Corporate Value podcast with Dr. E, where we will have conversations on the topics under the four pillars I feel are critical to employee success in corporate: leadership, engagement, analytics, and performance, aka LEAP. Mastering these will allow you to have wonderful days and to leap in your career. I am Elizabeth Dr. E. Carter, PhD, your corporate elevation and transition strategist and host. I understand the challenges you face as a corporate professional trying to thrive in the workplace. I have the experience and expertise to help you navigate in the corporate world. We will laugh, cry, but most importantly, accumulate tools that will allow you to become more confident, empowered leaders who are valued and respected in the corporate world. Now, I share in the spirit of giving you what I never got, the feedback that would have helped me that I never received. So let's get started. Today's topic is performance and results, because I want to ground us in those four main areas. Now, what is performance? Performance, by definition, for our purposes, is the execution of an action, something accomplished, the fulfillment of a claim, promise, or request. In the end, when you think about it, it's really the completion. And that piece is why so many employees don't like the process of performance reviews. Because we have to talk about what we actually did, what we accomplished, what we completed, what our boss asked us to do. And you know what? Honestly, some of those items on our list just didn't get done. And some maybe not to satisfaction, which is subjective. Let me just tell you that. Don't beat yourself up. And that was really my problem with the performance conversation. I always felt I went above and beyond my own expectations. Did it ever happen to you? You knew you were doing a bang up job, going well out of your way, and you just weren't hearing or seeing the same response back for your work? Well, let me tell you, there was one assignment I had when I was a financial analyst way back when. My boss asked me to create a report from scratch. We know what scratch is. That meant I had to first brainstorm with tons of stakeholders about what they really wanted, what would be the right format that would make it consumable and usable for them. I had to determine what data that meant I had to have. Then find out, do we actually have the data? Often, and many of you have been through this, where you know exactly what you think your customer needs, but you just don't have access to all the information and the tools. Yeah, that's what happened to me. So I'm trying to figure out, do I have everything I needed? Write out exactly the schematic and the workflows to create this beautiful visual, ensuring that the automation would work. Nobody wants to do anything by hand by every single month anymore. So automation is the key. Had to do a test run, check for errors, because there always is an error. And you know what? I forgot to tell you. First, you have to check in with your IT department, because if they don't have anybody to help you build what you need, then you're stuck. And or you need to know how much it may cost to get it done, and is it in the budget? So I got all that information. We were fine. Went ahead, built the report, ran a mock-up, a test, looked good. and I shared it with my boss, got no feedback. So let's just step back on the feedback piece. I've learned, again, 25 plus years in the business, when you send something or send your work to someone, if they hate it, they'll tell you right away. If they are feeling any warmer than that, you'll get at the minimum no feedback. Not a word, not a nothing, not a comment, not a thank you, not a good job, nothing. So that's what I got. So I said, well, no news is good news. Let's just keep it moving. I started to produce the report monthly, distributed it. Still no yay or nay on the content, the information, and the report included a very detailed but summarized, sounds like an oxymoron, but it's a thing, a detailed but summarized, painfully written analysis with action items. I always want to make sure, from my perspective around performance and execution, is that I allow others the tools to be able to execute. What's the point of sharing information when you can't do anything with it, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent? So that's what I did. So I'm thinking I got the assignment at the beginning of the year. It took about 4 months to get it all together. I distributed it for a few months, and now we're in fourth quarter. I'm working on my self-assessment for my review and noting all the great things I did with this project. I was collaborative. I was inclusive. I was under budget. I was strategic in the messaging, helping provide tools and transformation. All those corporate buzzwords. And I'm finally having a chance, months later, to actually ask my boss about this project. That was my mistake, first of all, assuming that silence is compliance. Proceeds to tell me that no one likes it. They ignore it when it hits their inbox and wished for something different. Okay, like now you tell me, where was this 5 months ago? And I'm thinking about all that I did to shift my workload and my life to get this report built and beautiful and automated and distributed. Now I'm mad. Okay. Now I'm mad. And now I'm rethinking, like, what did I do wrong? I am very versed in understanding what it means to be a great performer. So maybe it wasn't just me, maybe it was my manager. So I have a little list here of effective ways to enhance performance. And as I talk through them, I'm going to reflect on, was it me or did I miss something? Number one was set clear goals. Now, I believe that my manager did provide for me clear goals, clear expectations, knew exactly what we were looking for. It normally, these types of projects come from someone having a need and understanding that there is some value needed. So we got that. Second, provide adequate resources. I did have the right set of tools. I had to pull some arms a bit to get some assistance from some of the other areas that had the resources or had the tools or had the data, but that was okay. They were very amenable to working with me. Three, encourage open communication. Now, that's probably where I had a challenge. I was continually during the build process ensuring that the audience and the stakeholders actually, were very clear on what they were going to receive. But I guess I should have asked after I delivered it for feedback. And even sometimes when you do that, it still goes into a black hole and you get no response. So I might have on my end needed to do better on the follow-up, as my manager should have, in saying to me, if he or she is in a meeting and they're hearing about this report and that it's not valuable, well, get back to me right away. Why would you not do that for me? What else do I have here? I'm missing a page. Also, promoting collaboration. I did that. I am very big on bringing people together. I know for sure I don't know everything. I don't declare to know everything. I don't need to know everything. I don't have that much time to be learning every single thing that doesn't concern me when someone else already has years and years of experience doing it and can do it a whole lot faster than me. So I absolutely did the collaboration. Provide support and resources. Did that. Probably. And I did not have any obstacles, but I guess maybe I should have voiced one or two, but I just worked around it. And that would have given my manager a more inclusive feeling that they were seeing all that was going on. But a lot of times we as employees, we think, oh, we can handle it. We have the relationship. We know who and what we can do, where we know we can or can't step out of the guide rails, if you will. So I was able to work all that out. Offer regular feedback. That would have been another area, again, where we both would have failed. I didn't ask, and my manager didn't tell. Promote work-life balance. I would tell you during that time, I probably didn't sleep much. My brain was constantly thinking about what it should look like. Who might I need to go see? How might I refine it to make it better? Because guess what? We're all perfectionists. We all want to do everything great. But that does take a toll on your life. There were probably some items at home that I didn't do as well as I would have liked. Time I didn't spend with family that I should have. So, and I was not at the point of burnout, but I know what burnout feels like. So when thinking about what happened here, it really was the communication and checking in. And communication is the number one challenge that companies have. There's not enough communication from the top down, not enough communication from the bottom up. So I encourage all of you to think about performance and how well you're doing in everything in your life, whether it's at work, if you're an entrepreneur and you're working on a project right now to grow your business. Are you doing everything that you could be doing in the communication space? I know in my business, I don't communicate often enough. And that's because even at work, I don't want to inundate people and have them think that I don't know what I'm doing, that I have a bunch of questions, that I'm incompetent. It's not what it is. But it really is that people get busy and the focus, they may have wanted to respond back to you or provide a comment back to you, but it just, emails are so fluid. The email probably came in and was at the bottom of the pile by the next 10 minutes. So the communication and the follow up is really key to enhancing your performance, ensuring that you are accomplishing what the shared agreement was, that you are clear on the expectations. And if you don't necessarily know how well you're doing relative to that subjective opinion of the other person. And don't take offense to the answer. They say don't ask the question you don't want to know the answer to, but you want to know the answer. That's the only way that you will learn and grow and get better. That is our topic and conversation for today. I am Elizabeth Dr. E. Carter, PhD, your host. Thank you so much for joining me for the Elevate Your Corporate Value podcast with Dr. E. Please like, share what you've heard today, and please tune in for our next episode. Thank you and have a great morning, great afternoon, and great evening.